Hi, this is Rhonda from Montana Bowl of Cherries. Welcome to the garden in July. It's gotten very warm and this little garden has just gone crazy. There's a bunch of things in here that need to be taken care of. See how everything is trying to outgrow each other? First off, I wanted to show you these are lamb's ears. Grows wild in a bunch of places, but it really does just takes off. So there's the bees are loving the blossoms on it. It's very soft, has antibacterial qualities to it, makes it great for a natural band-aid. While we're over here, the pots. So here's where I put the strawberry planters that we made out of the chicken waters. I put one on each side of the deck. And the strawberries are really loving it in there. So when I water them, I just fill it quite full with water. And then it just goes down and gets all the places. So I don't have to water all of these little holes in here. The water just goes down and waters all of the strawberries, and we have ever-bearing strawberries in there, so we are getting strawberries all summer long. Okay, back to this pot. Has petunias in it, and the butterflies and hummingbirds and hummingbird moths like the trumpet of the petunias. These are borage, and borage makes really great tea, but these little tiny flowers kind of has a cucumber flavor, and these little tiny flowers are just so much fun in salads, in ice cubes. Calendula helps to keep the bugs away, and also calendula works great for skin ointments. And then this is Nicotania. Also has the trumpet flowers in the evening. Gives off a wonderful smell. This is Nicotania in a different color. Okay, the wild garden. These are daylilies, and the daylilies have just taken over. So the only way to keep the daylilies from taking over is just to dig them out as they come on, because what they do is they just make more starts. So see, they're clear. There's a plant there, and then there's a plant over here. So when I don't want them anymore, I have to remove the plants that I don't want. And you can either share them with somebody or just get rid of them. The daisies have done their thing, and so now the next part is to cut them back so that everything's not trying to outgrow the daisies, which is where we started with this whole thing. It just needs to be, I just need to get through the weeding part of this garden, but it's not its turn yet. So the nasturtiums are growing out of the pot. Nasturtiums are edible. They also like some partial shade. So they're doing well here. The ones in the back that I'll show you in a little while, they're not doing so well. The hollyhocks, once again, the trumpet flowers for the butterflies, the hummingbirds, the hummingbird moths, and the bees. Blue flax, it reseeds itself, so it just keeps coming back. Some more of the daylilies. And remember this, I had to cut it all the way back because the grasshoppers ate it back, and look at it now. Came back over the top, really likes a good trimming. It's absolutely gorgeous. So there's some sage down in here. It has to be found. Alrighty, then the fairy gardens. All kinds of things growing in there. Oregano. Some of these are just weeds that have to come out of there. Some of them I don't even know what they are. Okay, this is what I worked so hard on. The wind has blown some things over, but the shade garden, our Asian inspired garden. So we have the sand to rake, and then there's a little bit of mint in here, and here are the lilies, and they're blooming. Some more daylilies, and then bleeding heart. It's a very young plant. It's coming really well. And these are chives. Started from seed this year. And then over here in what used to be the pond is where the mint lives, because mint is very invasive and it takes over everywhere. So we'll give it its own spot to take over. So I also put some lemon balm in here. I was going to see how that was doing, if I could find it. Lemon balm, where did you go? Down here. Down in here in the bottom, that's where the lemon balm is at. Have another place where the lemon balm really likes. So this is yarrow. Most of the plants in these gardens are invasive plants. But we just let them just go. So they're contained by the bricks edging. And the rose garden is next. So the roses, some of them have bloomed. These all bloomed. Now they're spent. And then on this end, a hosta and some more roses. And Libby with the ball again. Hi, Donnie. All right, here are the deck pots. The deck pots are where we grow the cherry tomatoes, the small tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and then some more calendula, because the calendula helps keep the bugs away from the tomatoes. There's also in here some cilantro. Trying to find where the cilantro likes best. So all three of these deck pots have the same things planted in them, so that we can see what does well where. So there's nasturtiums in here as well, but they like it. They like a little bit of shade, so they're not thriving right here. From here we're going to go to the herbs. So remember I told you how important dill is to us, and so there's a bunch of dill that just grows around the outside of here. While I try to keep the other weeds out, I let the dill do whatever it wants to do, as long as it's not in the way of the rest of the stuff. Here's the oregano. This has just been cut back. This is what it looks like after it's been cut back. So it could be cut again next week and it would do just fine. It likes to be trimmed. Rosemary, and the rosemary on either side. And wrapped up in the rosemary on this side is the second year of parsley. Parsley's a biennial. So in the first year, it makes leaves like this, like the parsley that you usually see. In the second year, the leaves come early, and we did trim this back before it went to seed, and then it will just immediately go to seed. So all of these are parsley seed. Sometimes it overwinters just fine, and sometimes you have to save the seed in order to get the parsley seed. Basil. There is a whole bunch of basil in the house drying. This was just picked. There's some dill coming in there, and down in here there's some more cilantro. And then on the other side is the lime basil. Here is some more of the borage. I haven't found a place that borage doesn't just do wonderfully. See all these beautiful little blossoms? One more thing to show you before we go. We tried a pot on the north side of the house, right here on the sidewalk. It gets shade for a good part of the day, but it gets the really hot sun in the afternoon and towards evening. So jury's still out on whether this is a good idea or not, but so far everything seems to be liking it. Begonias, impatiens, what this is right now is escaping me, and here's borage, and then here is some more lemon balm, and it's really liking this spot right here more than it does in there with the mint. Right, I hope you enjoyed seeing the garden in July and that something inspired you to help you with your garden.